because it's true. They trying their best. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. But if a man steal a mango or breeze blow up we had a little riot in this town. The headline it got, you'll swear the whole island was burning down. But I had to laugh when a visitor turned and say, what the fuss about? This happens in New York every day. You know our sportsmen are rated amongst the best. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. All the lovely buildings which shows our progress. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. But a little shanty town and a woman in a ragged dress. Bet your life it making headline in the foreign press. True, true. True, true. Palabaroba, labaroba, palabare. We have been under colonialists and suffering under imperialists. Now we want betterment. They writing about communism when the only kind of ism we know about down here is sufferism. When a visitor say this island is a lover's nest, I want them to write about that in the foreign press. When they say our hospitality is really the best, I want them to write about that in the foreign press. You know our music is rated amongst the best. I want them to write about that in the foreign press. All them lovely girls when they wearing the sexy dress. Yes, I want them to write about that in the foreign press. All the lovely buildings which shows our progress. Yes, I want them to write.
In Sierra Leone, it's a hearty welcome to another edition of the program Stop Press right here on Truth Radio 103.9 FM. My name is Christian Conte, and as usual, the program is Stop Press. Stop Press brings you a deep dive analysis into major issues across news platforms. Our guests are mostly people who bring you the news stories on radio, on television, and of course on newspapers. In today's edition of the program, I have a senior colleague as usual. Here is a familiar face now on Stop Press. He's been here once, and he's here today to join me in giving some context and some pictures to some of the top stories across the country. His name is Kevin Lamin Lamdo, and he's a journalist. Mr. Lamdo, good morning. Welcome to Stop Press.
Thank you very much.
I am also expecting, as usual, Melvin Tijan Mansai. He just called, saying, I will come. If you don't come, he will get a problem. So I'm expecting him here, to give some balance to the conversation. And definitely, I'm sure we'll have a very interesting and exciting conversation. The program is Stop Press on 103.9 FM. Stay with us for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes as we bring you all the interesting stories and different perspectives and analysis of these stories. The program again is Stop Press.
I hope that our visitors would listen to this song carefully, because it's true. They're trying their best to stop our progress with bad propaganda. I mean the foreign press. Bad things are blown out proportion and spread all around. But the good things of the island they will never mention. Like our scholars have sit and passed every test. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. You know our music is rated amongst the best. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. But if a man steal a mango or breeze blow up a woman dress, bet your life we making headline in the foreign press. True, true. Lamba bomba, lamba roba, lamba de la de, tila loba, la domba, tila la. We had a little riot in this town. The headline it got, you'll swear the whole island was burning down. But I had to laugh when a visitor turned and say, what the fuss about? This happens in New York every day. You know our sportsmen are rated amongst the best. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. All the lovely buildings which shows our progress. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. But a little shanty town and a woman in a ragged dress. Bet your life it making headline in the foreign press. True, true.
The program is Top Press on Truth Radio 103.9 FM and across the various social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we are also on YouTube. Join us there, join the conversation, sending you comments, your questions, your contribution, whatever, you know. And we'll definitely find time to bring it on the program if they come. If that question you get to where you think, say, probably some issue we'll not discuss, or you want to get some other perspective on which we guess then think of issues, just drop out the comment section. We'll definitely bring and come to them. So Melvin on join my studio. Melvin, good morning, welcome once again to Stop West.
Thank you very much for having me here for the second time.
Yeah, so
sorry for coming in.
Happy birthday. So somebody say
From September 23rd.
somebody say that the bad day that make these 2 days that you look, you know, I don't know if you know.
I
don't accuse you.
I don't think it's the bad day. I think it's the open shop and go back.
Okay. So, not only so that you say I know what I mentioned that
last Friday, of course. I mean, I not see you. Of course, you were busy, but I not see big brother Kelvin. But it was awesome.
I'll definitely stop by.
The press gallery. Of course, we are coming up again on
Yes,
Saturday, but it was awesome, and thanks so much to everybody, particularly the press. All the journalists were around, and it's that hard working.
Wait, after this, I'll ever send invoice on your office.
Yeah, you know, journalists must make use of the platform.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah.
So today we have a couple of newspapers we'll definitely go through, and you know, as we start the conversation. So I will definitely start at home as usual. Our own very Truth newspaper, and we have the bold banner headline says Judiciary in Chaos. We have pictures of 4 judges here. We have Justice Reginald Sidney Finn is there. Justice Comeback Amanda is there. We have, who is the Chief Justice, by the way. And we have Justice Alan Hallowell. And we have Justice Alaji Momoja Stevens. 4 gentlemen, 4 very senior Supreme Court and Appeals Court judges all here, and you know, they are part of the whole wrangling within the judiciary, whether some positively, some negatively. VP Julde intervenes in Kissy land disputes. Picture of the Vice President there. Another story here says Mayor raises alarm over rising street corpses in Freetown. We also have a story of the former SLFA president Thomas Babadi breaking silence.
Thomas Buena.
Thomas Thomas Daddy Brahma, sorry. Imagine Rick's president, the former
In the current.
to them. So Thomas Daddy Brahma breaks silence on the transition reports and the election controversies there. And now we first get after elections, he has never spoken to the media and he decided for us to see how for can't talk to school. So he used this platform for talk a lot of truth. And it's an interesting conversation. Grab a copy of the paper and you get the details. It will also be up on our website at truthmedia.sl, and you could read all these stories here. We have other newspapers that would be on your screen shortly. One of them, of course, is the Global Times newspaper I have here in front of me. It says VP Juliet Jallo resolves land dispute at Kisii. Still talking on the vice president's intervention in this land dispute. And I remember say on the morning show with Amadou Lamonaba, he's been consistently talking about this land at Kisii, where they want to build some warehouse there. And the vice president don't decide to step in, and there seems to be a solution to that. Also, we have Expo Time newspaper here says Sierra Leone secures a record 2.2 billion deal to extend energy access. We see a picture here of President Jos Madabio. They watch the deal we all sign, and we hope this would increase energy access at the country with, of course, the MCC also. Put that two them together, and we hope and pray that shortly we will get a solution to all the energy challenges them across the country. RIC resolves the NMA and journalist Dan Bobo's matter. This is a story between the NMA and a certain journalist. I think the right to access information don't step in and try to address that day. We also have Political newspaper which says APC fires back at Sam Sumana. A picture there of Alhaji Sam Sumana, former vice president of Sierra Leone, is there, and grab a copy of Political and you go know what that story about. Government owes ETSA $23 million. Imagine, Boku money handy. And they for 5 where they give one person, so one of the guests more than business for that money. Yes, we'll take another newspaper, of course, it's Awoko newspaper. Maybe it will be the final newspaper I'm taking this morning. It says contraceptive investment could boost Sierra Leone's economy by $638 million by 2030. ECOWAS and GIZ conclude 2-day media workshop on integrity reporting in Freetown. More headlines on our core newspaper. Says there's a story that says join the conversation. The Ubuntu Consensus Republic. This is a future writing done by Joseph Ayanga. Rethinking political systems for Africa's future. I'm sure it's a deep dive into the current political system before they think of in Africa, and I'm sure it will mention something around Sierra Leone. So these are the newspapers we can take this morning, and as I introduced earlier, I have my guests here, and they get the laxity of choosing any of these issues and take a deep dive into here on Stop Press. As the name go, we know it's right for micromanage and say, okay, now this we can't discuss, this we discuss. We give our guests the opportunity because they said are journalists then they shape the opinion at the various media institutions, so they have the laxity of choosing a certain pick for the week and having a discussion. I'll start with Kevin Lamdo. So you don't get an idea of what's happening around the media circle the past few days. And there are lots of stories I don't say you go interesting and all that, but let's start with one, the most topical for now. You think you want to take a deep dive into?
Yeah, I get 2 picks, but I'll start with the one now.
Okay.
The one ending at the newspaper already, when a Political newspaper, we say APC fires back at Sam Sumana. It's very interesting. For the past month now, say a lot they happen. Plenty be done they go on. Sam Sumana be like the challenge the APC say is supposed for qualify for be part of the flag bearer race of the party. And we've been hearing the spokesperson for the political party APC. Now many media outlets them will be the talk say it's not possible because of XYZ. Well, some of the argument then are that at the time when they bring them back, they are saying the court's been doing a verdict say for the how they call them, the party we been do the reinstatement of Sam Sumana, the executive not be legal.
Okay.
They say they be illegal. So then argument they go back and forth, back and forth. We see Sam Sumana now. We go hold a big press conference. We call media people and societies, explain to them in stance. And we say if the APC continue for say they go exclude them, they go take the matter first to the PPRC.
Yeah.
And indeed, a write, I think something like a 6 or 7 pager expressing a willingness for continue for be part of the APC, but under the status that he was reinstated rather than readmitted. So the PPRC has then now the new role now the regulation of the political parties them. They decide for look at waiting then get now the instruments them and decide for look at the complaint. I think they get 14 days for look at the complaint and ask the APC for fire back. So they give APC 14 days for come back. But I think the 14 days not reach safe. APC don't send about 14 to 15 pages expressing why they not think say Sam Sumana for come back. So with all anything in the, the media are so clever for put and say APC fires back and Sam Sumana's case. So that's the situation. And now I think another argument don't come up. I think I've been bringing up the previous thing we consider now. So I borrow a leaf from the Right Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, we na be leader of government business at the last one of the last parliament. We talk say any law we exist na salon where they in conflict of the national constitution of 1991 is null and void. So I think all the argument now don't go towards that side. See, never mind APC gets as a law say if you don't take 5 years, the Sierra Leone constitution not say that. So that argument they go back and forth. So it is sweet people and because this is how democracy grows. Because when people challenge issues, then we not just sweep under the carpet, then deal with us quietly, and we the media have talked about them. People they understand, so they're not going to say again. If APC wins Sam Sumana on this argument, they not say again na bully them bully. Or if Sam Sumana are getting way to, they not going to say again na money pay or na cookie make. Everybody go to understand because this is the back and forth. We're good for democracy, and that's why we'll get good independent media. Then we are able to make let people and get the understanding of how politics they go, and that's way for me.
Yeah. So
we can too always above say, we left all things God will follow, and that's bad for democracy.
And people they need challenge issues mostly in a court.
They challenge, and when
Say
they
for
not
test the
challenge,
laws.
what's they happen? People in the go begin about grudges where they not even need for if they know the truth. So now it's open. APC is fair in this matter. Sam Sumana also is fair because they all come transparently in the open and they try for,
So
launder them
what you
documents.
think say get for happen in terms of resolving this? What's that get for end up? Because ultimately me think say if in a constitutional matter, it's a matter of the Supreme Court.
No, well, it will know first because APC don't send their own reply to PPRC.
PPRC.
So they look forward out to wait till PPRC.
So if the
resolve
Sam
it.
Sumana team not pleased, then they can go Supreme Court now.
Yes, well, if Sam Sumana please, but APC not
Not
please,
please.
APC itself can go to court or they got the way and go do them. But this is beautiful because we in this our age we dey see them conversation.
It could be a very interesting thing because imagine they go to court and there's a clear verdict that for this day in contravention of the national constitution.
Exactly.
Then comes Melvin argument the last time about 5-year term or clause if it's in contravention of the national constitution. But Momo, we want to see how that they play out. Melvin, you want to get a bite on that day?
Oh, of course. I think it's an interesting look ahead. Unfortunately, we not get a paper because it's a lengthy document. Okay, you get a publication. Of course, I've been read through Sam Sumana in complaints, not an objection. In complaint and in complaint.
So you think it's an objection if I make? Not
as per the PPRC
Yeah.
Act,
Okay.
he should have objected. He never objected. Although in chief of staff, they say individuals within a campaign team go object because of several reasons. And now in response, again, I want to be very careful. I see the lengthy document posted by Dr. Blyden, and I was looking.
Maybe can I just mention something? More assume say you not make any objection. If PPRC thinks that this is something that is against the national constitution, the need for Napalpa say possible object before they take note of us. Say no, this is no need for the inside on our constitution. Is it only except somebody objects?
The process is called objection. It's a whole.
No, but what I'm saying, most say nobody no object.
Yeah.
Why? Out of due diligence, PPRC not go say this is against the national constitution. I'm just assuming. I'm not being specific here.
Yeah.
PPRC not get that part, eh?
I don't think they have the locus. They will not have the locus because at the end of the day, they can only deal with waiting day before them. Because the case studies about when it was during the SLPP lower level, and at some point SLPP asked the PPRC to back off from the conducting of their lower levels. And one of the reasons was, according to some SLPP insiders, was that, PPRC was interfering into matters that were not even brought before it.
But he end up now.
Now they call it back.
Because we came out clearly to tell the government that you cannot defeat an institution that you purport to create.
Yeah.
So the government realized, the governing party, let me be careful, the governing SLP party realized themselves that, we cannot violate institutions. So I don't think the PPRC can look into a matter that is not before it. So somebody must take it to the PPRC. And that's why the rules or the act says there is a period, because it is contingent upon something. It says when the political parties review their regulations or make any changes to their constitution, it clearly states what should be done for the process to be considered for an objection or an approval. So in this case, I think that, but on the side of the APC, let's just summarize that the APC is telling Sam Sumana that your prayer is not in place. The option there is the PPRC can give an opinion, but that opinion is not sacrosanct, it's not binding, because the act, I think it's, I don't want to be, unspecific, creates that if a party is dissatisfied with the outcome of any ruling of the PPRC, that party can seek redress at the High Court. So in this case, if Sam Sumana is dissatisfied with the response, he ought to write again to the PPRC to say, I am not satisfied with the response of the party. Thus, again, this is the interesting part, Christian. The PPRC is going to be cornered in a situation that they should give an opinion.
Yeah.
And in this case, they can give either an opinion that, you settle, you put your house in order. They can give an opinion that you've been warned. They can give an opinion that, you've been sanctioned. They can even give an opinion of disqualification. If the APC cannot get it right on Sam Sumana, the danger that looms is that ultimately, then they might not be able to file in a candidate.
You mean the APC?
Of course.
Why?
Because if you look at the PPRC Act, it's the last resort. One of the last powers of the PPRC. If a political party fails to comply with certain provisions, they can be warned, they can be sanctioned, and ultimately, they can be refused to fill in a candidate, or even if they fill in a candidate, that candidate can be disqualified. It's in the PPRC Act. So that's the biggest danger that looms, not only for the APC, but also for the SLPP. Because again, this is the conjoining. So
we're going to get very interesting. Two sets of people, almost similar situations.
And that's the kind of like Yukela and like Sam Sumana. And this is the danger now, politically. If it ultimately ends in the courts, and the courts rule in favor of Sam Sumana, that ruling consequentially will also be having a bearing on Kanda Yukela. It means the 5-year clause that is also in the SLPP constitution for eligibility to contest as the flag bearer, which as at this point puts Kande Yumkela's fate in a tenterhooks. If a ruling goes in favor of Sam Sumana, absolutely that's ruling
it's a precedent.
It's a precedent that is going to serve
it might give him a lot of more confidence.
So again, on the flip, if it goes against Sam Sumana, it also means consequentially Juncker is not going to be qualified. Because both parties have this albatross in their constitution that hangs over, that gives a prerequisite that is not constitutionally sanctioned. There is nowhere in the constitution of Sierra Leone that says if you are to be qualified to be a president, you should have
spent 5 years in your party.
5 years.
It just say be a member of your party. You don't.
It just says member of it. But again, there's an argument raised by Lawyer Lansana. I think it's around primacy of the constitution.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lengthy letter. I am refraining to go into its detail because it's so lengthy.
Please share.
It's almost like an icon.
I've not seen that letter.
It's on Sylvia Blyden's
okay.
Facebook page. It's there.
Okay.
And
I'll
of
take a
course
look
it's
at
shared on some of the
Yeah.
platforms also. But the argument that is raised by Lawyer Lansana is that because the constitution gives political parties the power to firstly be registered under a constitution, that constitution in its effect is what binds that political party.
Of course, definitely.
On the reverse, Sam Sumana is now saying that, oh, your constitution cannot be above the national constitution. So it's an interesting legal argument. And I'll encourage our viewers to go and read the Secretary General's response. Firstly, I think it's a decent response. I mean, you guys are much more legally minded. If you look at the legal...
We don't have a lawyer at the panel.
But we have somebody that is unfair with the laws. But basically what I'm saying is it's an interesting situation because the bottom line there is radical exclusion versus radical inclusion.
And you have to bring radical into the conversation.
And the radicalism there is how will institutions act independently of the free? For example now, if this matter goes to the court, it will be an interesting matter for now case where SLPP gets interest power. APC gets interest power. So how will the institution, now you are reporting our judiciary in chaos? How will a judiciary that is in a chaotic state
make go to court. So let's have a precedent.
Yes.
Let's rule on this. And let's understand.
Your newspaper is reporting this now.
That's a story.
Judiciary in chaos.
So is this your take?
No, it's not my take. I'm just making a juxtaposition. A judiciary, this is an advice. Now, this is not sarcasm at all. And this is the advice. If you are taking a matter to what I'll quote Truth Media as saying a judiciary that is in chaos, you must count the political cost. And it's been said that political matters are best resolved.
We'll come to the matters of the
In a
judiciary.
political context.
In
a political situation.
In a political context rather than the legal context.
Legal
Because
context.
politics are politics. Politics and law.
We'll come to the judiciary. That's a whole thing. But why should you think about your pick for this week? I'll come back to Kelvin. You think, say, what's the solution in all of this? Is back and forth. You think, say, it's about we all man gonna court one time, either fan, or right, or wrong. What should be done?
Yes, actually, PPRC gets a new mandate now because formerly it been just registration. And then they lean back and wait. We particular report to them then take. Now in regulation, so they are more proactive. The sections them or the provisions they wouldn't get inside this new act now, this regulatory act, a more proactive. It give them power for even sniff out something and follow that thing.
Yeah.
Because we been get discussion with Lucia Momo. We say even if Sam Sumana not being right, PPRC they complain. There was a possibility for the PPRC go there.
Yeah.
You understand? And
I think now exactly end up the raise with Melvin. Say okay, if the nobody no raise objection, assuming PPRC gets a responsibility. Say okay, this we think say they against constitution.
Yes.
Una look at this.
Una look at them again for a second time and all the rest of it. So I want to see PPRC come out of his shell and behave the way for behave because now precedent now for new other political parties there we have get similar problem them underground. Because I just they imagine political parties then we set up like a ADP being set up less than 5 years to the 2012 elections. But the flag bearer we not be don't take 5 years now that party day. You understand? It legitimate stand the elections.
Because their own constitution will get that clause there really too big.
Yes. You not get her. You understand it? But the political party then we get her now. You understand? Now because they don't see. Because you nobody can build a new political party say you for don't do 5 years. We ain't no 5 year 8. So you don't see. But now wait on 5 years now. People are now go take and for block other people if they not can inside that political party they for can contest. Because then go say Igbo SLP get 5 years. APC get 5 years. Who say they put 5 years,
5 years
for block then you come and not can who don't suffer and the party will continue. So if they put that clause in now, then go they block some people in. And the constitution of Sierra Leone say everybody gets freedom of association. So why not for free for can associate with your own party where you make? You understand, And let me can be flag bearer. You understand? You don't go put 5 years.
You freedom for associate different from you rights for can stand and be flag bearer.
Well, this is
president.
it. But the constitution of Sierra Leone at the grand norm, it don't give you that chance. They say you free for associate with anybody. That's why you feel say Charles Magai be don't be SLPP. A commode go be NUP. So a commode a can SLPP.
Maybe you know things say because
the association.
You know things say because the constitution make it quite clear that you for belong to a political party. For one for president, for example, and it cause all this problem. Because if you don't need to belong to a political party, I can go as an independent. We can watch you and Kevin say you're not presidential material, they support you, go be president, but you have to belong to a political party.
No, a better way in a political party because the chaos for being too much. It for be overwhelming, the chaos for be overwhelming. Political parties them talk and go, I can give them that credit. Say now a group of people them, Sierra Leoneans them, we at least get one way of thinking, one mind, one aspiration, and all the rest of it. No matter what thing they can do in excesses, but now a good organized group, they get chaplains them, they get imams them, and all the rest of it. So they are a microcosm of the country in self. So they're able to tailor their activities and they're able to manage them people them. To the point that if you misbehave, they can grab you or they can sanction you and all the rest of it. So if that is not the case, political parties them for produce actually the candidates them. I'm not saying we don't ripe for get independent candidates. But again, when we get it's easier with political party they back you. Maybe for be a member of parliament, a councillor, because some man can just they teach now one area, but they say good, good to the public and all this. They say, boys can't contest. Then they find a political party we can able give some kind of backing, we will get a vehicle, we will get the platform for making able to articulate. Then at the end of the day, he become a good politician, a better person for the country. But if they say no, they pull political party, then all the political parties will collapse. And if they all collapse, then me go just grab one day and say I want to be president. You grab Melvin grab all fit inside the studio.
No for grab. No man get the rights to do that now.
So for tell all lengthy and this so that we no get that problem there. The political parties are quite useful and now make a final way. God don't give them a regulatory framework where they regulate them, where they prepare them. Lucien Moa the borrow from him. He say PPRC na like the secondary school where they prepare and what students then done ECSL na the WAEC. So when they prepare you well, now you go sit you pass. Or if you not do your homework well, now we go sit there now, you see how you do. So would they look forward no more for the PPRC come out in this case? Then even at that, if you go to the worst, then go to Supreme Court. Me are glad. Look, get a judicial precedent in some of the political matters there. Who will be afraid for say, they are let them go to court, let something come out. Now make a feel them back with two opportunities they will be get. We will miss. Anes Baikuma in case and late Editure and say Kamal himself no conclude. It didn't na the court na Impakaba say una come gentlemen we say they can make peace. So we not able to get the outcome. So that's why still APC still get this half problem of membership.
Yeah,
tenure
judicial prison and that's what they get. Even Cyber Security and Crimes Act, we not get serious precedent. Like you and us, if they hold you now, you go for them by hold, you did it for like few months.
No,
not big. You did it really go through the process, go to court and all that. But nobody know how volunteer for that.
Nobody know how volunteer for that. Then look the case now of also when we been get a political case where Mada Bio been contest the 2012 election and lost, and he go to court. All man they look forward, say, Lord, see, if you court, then get mind for looking to a political case and cut a cut short. Then bring technicalities. So we're not able to see the merits. So we himself would not forget a judicial precedent to want them. So I think now the reason that they will make Samuel Kama being G3 for going to court because he can't interpret what's in the court will get for bring. Because if we don't get one or two of them instances, then they will lay down. Somebody go say, the lawyers themselves go gladly say, would they bring a case and we get to the point that say, now this we look forward to.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
in this case,
But-
let's take this Samsumana case now as the guinea pig back. Let's get all the necessary things there from PPIC, from the court, and let's see how
Yeah,
this
before I
thing
come to
pan out.
Melvin for getting picked, this is not a very interesting thing, but we politicians and the justice sector, you know, they all trust the judiciary with it in a power. Judiciary do well. When they're in opposition, they're very jittery. This is not the very same judiciary with the APC build and work with and work on. Now in opposition, we're not afraid for the same judiciary, the same judges that they did it, the same people. So you see, now I make the always tell them say build institutions. If you build institution, you build institution for where you dey out of power.
Yes.
Because you know say able protect me. I make places like America, as bad as you think their democracy is sometimes, people then believe say Trump they talk something. Judge they tell you say Trump now you they talk so. Because when we go to court, the court they say no, this what the president don't say, you know, even important. No, just ignore that mandate. Just imagine the president. It does not happen in most African countries. Melvin, what's your pick for the week? You know, lots of stories. I see the IME judiciary story. And that would be exclusive. But we'll come to that definitely. We'll have a lengthy conversation on that story.
Is running on the returns or covering the ongoing hunger
Like I say,
radio they talk,
Like I say, on stop press, it's
let's-
just I don't need for
Yeah,
one
I
neck
think,
question.
I
and-
think
yeah.
assessing how Sierra Leone's, how President Bio perform at the hunger will be important also for the fact that.
Yeah, you can go ahead. We had a very lengthy conversation here with my colleague Jawad. You know,
yes,
we done in our traditional media, and you know he's now with government service, and you know we had a back and forth about waiting the president say. I also told him quite clearly that you know I be like the president in posture and all that, but I also raised very pertinent concerns people who have generally. If you want to talk about that, no problem. Definitely, we could look at what I mean, because for example, most people then say, "Oh, the president gonna make statement." We, where they read and listen, could have our own analysis of it. But most Sierra Leoneans is like, "What things they benefit me?" Yeah, the president go hunger and make this statement. So what?
For somebody to ask what benefits are there, it means that Sierra Leone is recognized. It means that Sierra Leone is recognized. That's one.
Yeah.
But also, it means that we have a president who can harness the platform, although he's never given his vice president or foreign minister that platform ever since in his 6 years to 7
You know, if you
years.
pay Ibuduan, what you know you forgive for the minister of vice president. Now the panel,
They tell
Mike
they
Snow
come,
Ibuduan.
they tell they come.
I'm coming. And well, since he can do it, and another thing that comes to mind is the composition of the delegation, how nationally inclusive it was, and it seems to me as if it was a government stroke SLPP delegation looking at some of the faces that were caught on camera. Since the government has not been consistent enough to tell us the number of delegates as they used to do when they were in office at the early stages,
stage.
but now they are not disclosing that. So first, I would like to know how many people were part of that delegation, if there were members of civil society, members of opposition and independent media, and above all, if we can have if we can have an economic or a financial lens to it as to what it costs the nation's budget, will be important also. But also, that's from the one side perspective. Another perspective would be what were the gains. Of course, I saw the president taking a photo up with FIFA president.
Yeah.
I saw him photo up with Antonio Guterres, and he was having several side line discussions.
And one of the gains we had, it's been reported on the papers,
That's
2.2
clear.
billion deal for energy.
Energy, which for me I think that should be one of the most significant achievements of President Bio at Onga 80. But if you are getting
2 billion.
2.2 billion, and we cannot
USD.
put that in tandem with how much was spent, perhaps we are not getting all sides to that story. So it's worth celebrating that was achieved, or in theory achieved, because that's a commitment, and we hope it will, because it will materialize, because we've seen commitments like the MCC still being pipelined, although they've said they are active and all that. But for me, that's just one side. the cost benefits. Another side is that of the message itself. His message, I've heard so many people saying, oh, it was a powerful speech. It was well delivered, and his energy, his composure, and his attire and all that. But for me, I look at the literature. Unfortunately, we can only review it based on what was presented and delivered. And from what was delivered, I think I'll look at it from three lenses. One is that of the national, two the continental, and three the global. And from the national, I think the president spoke in passing on his Feed Saloon flagship, his green energy, and all of those things he spoke about in passing without registering much specifics as to figures or data. And for me, on Feed Saloon, I think the reason for his rushing presentation on some of his national achievements are because they can't add up when you put it on a global ranking scale. For example, if you talk about the government that says its flagship is to feed Sierra Leoneans, and yet still Sierra Leone is ranked among the hungriest nations, it's so ironical. So I can understand, but I think a major omission.
But can I maybe play the devil's advocate? Some of these figures, yes, they may not add up in terms of, but we see certain, to some extent, we see some impact. However small, for example, in talking about rice issues, then rice price come down to some extent. Yeah, it's still very expensive for the average Sierra Leonean with the earn minimum wage. But some of them have things. Then maybe we need to, as much as we criticize, we need to recognize some of this. The Minister of Agriculture was here. He mentioned a few things. There are still remains a lot of questions. He said agree. We talked about Thomas Bohm extensively. It was like, okay, we don't understand the literature behind it. He had a whole lot of explanation. But there are some small gains that we need to recognize, even though we criticize the general application of some of these things.
And the general application, I think for me as a critical thinker, I look at the general appreciation of the reality rather than the isolated facts. It's isolated fact that some gains are made in pittance reduction in the price of rice. Can you qualify that to say Sierra Leoneans are not hungry people based on global indices and rankings? It's just the brutal fact that we are among the hungriest nations, and yet still the government says agriculture is its flagship, and yet still the government cannot even commit the ECOWAS threshold amount of investment on agriculture, and we are paying lip service. So that's the national. But there is a major omission when it comes to foreign policy. And of course, hunger is a platform for foreign policy expatiation, basically. And if you can go to hunger, and you are having a situation as similar to Russia-Ukraine incursion, which is Yanga, and you cannot make mention of Yanga, I think that again was a major omission on foreign policy from a national perspective. So for me, that was quite huge. And of course, the president, from a national standpoint, was unable to tell the world as to the progress we've made since the post-elections feud. I don't know why he never mentioned the progress his government has made on tripartite implementation, for example. And for me, that was also very diplomatically tragic in my estimation. On the continental front, I think I will agree with many people that he spoke well on the issue of ECOWAS.
Yeah.
Apparently, again, this is my critique, is uncertain when it comes to, for example, Alliance of Sahel States. We don't know what President Bio's position personally is when it comes to whether the breakaway should be tolerated or... Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me make my point. You can
Make your
be the
point. Go
devil's
ahead.
advocate.
No, I'm not being devil's advocate.
If it's unclear as to whether President Bio, as the chairman of Authority of Heads of States, if it's unclear what his personal position is, because he visited Burkina Faso, and when he visited Burkina Faso, his message was, we want to see how we can foster cooperation between AES and ECOWAS. In this case, the ambiguity there is, what kind of cooperation? Should AES operate independently, or as a subset of ECOWAS as we are having MRU. In other words, we don't know whether it's ECOWAS or President Bio's position as to these people should be coming back and how, and if they're not coming back, how should they be addressed from
based on what I
a distance perspective?
listen,
Yeah.
his position seems to be these people, okay, have broken away, and it's military personnel holding on to power. We want to be careful, have them return power to civilian rule, and you cannot do that by pushing them away. You cannot also do that forcefully. Give or take with them, bail them, come on board, talk to them. And President Bio has been a military leader at some point in time, so you understand the rationale behind them thinking, and I think say maybe that's now one reason we even make an heads off in the ECOWAS. Put on this, okay, go talk to them and let's bring them on board gradually. And I'm sure most of them work towards having democratic transition. That's the whole aim. But if you say, oh, they push them out just like that, it might have some ripple effects where not go good.
So in contrast to your argument or your supposition, if you say suspending them was not the way to go, why you supported the decision?
But that was the first step.
So you got it
Made
wrong.
spontaneously.
No. You got it wrong from the onset. If you say you get for for create.
That's not bad for review steps. So watch this. Immediately you can suspend them, maybe at that time. But later on, you review and say, okay, let's have a different approach.
Okay, now so listen. Go and watch Sarah's website and see waiting President Bio tell the chairman of the commission. Okay, Mr. Tsuri.
Yeah.
See in the second to last paragraph what he say. It's so ambiguous. It tell ECOWAS that these people we need for work with them. How if for work with them? This is why I said his position on particularly Burkina Faso is ambiguous. How for work with them? Work with them as a sub-block or bringing them? ECOWAS has taken a decision. And if you follow the Burkinabe press, they were saying for the fact that President Bio visit them, it means say ECOWAS don't appreciate their stance. Give them legitimacy. So I say my president is ambiguous because he was not telling the strong man na Burkina Faso whether for comeback or if you not come back, what will be the repercussions? Let me just land on the global front. On the global front again, I think he spoke very well. But again, it's my criticism that he was a bit scared. He never called out Israel, for example. He mentioned, killing of humanitarian workers. Where is that happening? It's happening in Gaza. You talk about genocide in Gaza. I support him for that. But he never called out Israel. Why?
Maybe it was an omission.
Well, if you are talking about genocide, the person that is, allegedly causing the genocide, you cannot call them out. That is also quite serious. But of course, another one again is the aspect of the U.S. isolationist policy. He hoovered around that topic again, and I was saying, if even I was the speechwriter, I should have played around that because America and America. But in contrast, Mahama was bold enough to speak truth. For example, reparation for colonialism.
Look at the Kenyan president. In fact,
Who?
He said if we not get a seat on the Security Council, we are pulling out of the UN. That was bold. It was like
That's in fact. So again, exactly that.
I listened to it and I was like, whoa.
Ruto, exactly. When you go to that particular position, again, we talk about reform for UN. They all talk about reform for UN. But what they will do if UN fails to reform itself 25 years after this call, I think the only possible spot that is the Kenyan president. And I think that's the position where we need. Let them go tell and say, it's time for reform now. They don't talk and say from Mandela that they all don't talk, but it's not happening. And if it's not happening, I think African leaders forget a galvanized position where they give an ultimatum to the global north in particular that we cannot be in a body, 8 years on, still Africa is being considered as left out. Yeah. So I think President Bio, by and large, he spoke more for the world. But when it comes to Sierra Leone, the most touching issue with our foreign policy, which is the occupation, was omitted. So, again, the delegation was huge.
I think Lambdo wanted to make some addition there.
Yeah, it's a nice discussion where Melvin bring up, and you can argue on many fronts, and you get position for stand on in any way, shape or form you do them. Because we dey talk about what they call international diplomacy. International diplomacy, I don't want call them na the way we ordinary people can understand them. Because if I do and so, I go to pull some of the air with the
hypocrisy.
yes. International diplomacy is not, in fact,
Talker.
Zero. It's oval. Zero, that means it get a very round shape.
Specific.
But
This-
when it's oval, it can be oblong here, it's slim here, as you go, as I see. One, the people we don't give you 2.something billion, say then they can't help you for solve one problem we from colonial time we not able to get light correct. Colonial days, lights not ever correct now. Because Freetown population will be like a 300,000. And not to all host them, that's when they be get light. You understand? Then from Waterloo now, take go, not be get light. You understand? So from colonial days, na challenge. So up to present day, na challenge. So now, so if we look at things, they say we are improving gradually. But person we get for give them money, then they for change that story. You understand? You know, we go look them ping inside the UI and go tell them certain things there. There is a president who misbehave. In fact, now they don't revoke him visa. You understand? And I know say the United States get for follow them very difficultly. Now a South American country president, he even call on the military of the United States not for take President Trump in orders in terms of within the happen na Israel. No, not to Venezuela. A young guy, I remember his name. For what did it happen na Israel? And America see and saying a bad thing. So then they work on it. So when you hit that diplomatic stage, you have what you go talk loud, you get what you go talk inside. Because they get the sideline meeting them, they get the inside meeting, they get the cocktails them, they get the short, smart talk points them way. You get that's why where you go to a very big delegation, we can address a lot of things them. Because for example, I think Fatima Bio being succeed for get some kind of recognition from the United Nations for works on girls and women empowerment, something like that. And also, while President Bio they talk, that big talk day, Usaime they talk, the kind of young killers them in day to the energy side, then you know, other people in the diplomacy front, everybody in your corner. And in fact, with permanent representative, one Kanu guy, in fact, him don't even make a presentation self say a very strong one. So President Bio no need for go talk again because the guys say what in Israel they do to Palestine is not good. He condemn them fiercely.
Yeah. And I even saw the Israeli Prime Minister and Netanyahu they come in. I saw a few people walked out.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a massive walkout.
It was interesting, and he was
so that guy
he was
don't seek with
emphasizing
interest there. Then
so
we'll come back.
This is not happening. They are not going to recognize Palestine as another state.
But guess what?
And I like in comparison, Megi.
Yes, let's say something now. Let's say something now. The issue of Yenga, what make me glad where they not talk and they, because now we Salon, Guinea, Liberia, and Ivory Coast, we now brothers and sisters. Tight one. You understand? According to the block
matters within.
You understand? So I be even feel bad small where we be even escalate to ECOWAS. Mano River for being better place for solve than because waiting for me to happen, it was two brothers, they refer to one brother. Two other brothers, they come to them. And when they come to them, when I go inside the room, it's either the two support Guinea against we, or the two support we against Guinea. And me believe say this, the case where we get, if then two block then they support we against Guinea, they tell Guinea inside room, say, no boys, bro, this na natural boundary, this na water, na river this, na natural boundary this. Inside room, then go likely say, okay, we're waiting. Would they pull in the next tomorrow? Would they pull in the next week? Would they pull in the next month?
And a lot of people of the opinion say President Bio is being very light, or because that John Salida.
No, apart from the John Salida, ask why Pakaba with all the lobbying power enable get Lansana concept for comply. Anes Bakoma with all in international connection enable get Lansana Conte and Alpha Conde for comply. Don't come. And instead of begin with Lansana Alpha Conde, automatically power change hands. Now you get a military regime where their own agenda different. So you for look why they want and they fail first, and how you for can succeed. And if you want can succeed, then you they take that talk now. Where you go now, UN, where then get big aid that force where they are the world for solve. Putin in situation with Europe right now, if fearful. Not to for say now just Ukraine they deal with now. It is send flights then now they go pass on top Poland. Then they go past on top Romania. Then they go past on top countries then where they inside the European Union. That aid that's the force. It didn't have the wall. Don't Israel situation. And that one of the situation in the way, to me, I wonder if diplomacy will be able to solve them, because somebody make a write-up where say this is a biblical or religious fundamentalist situation.
The Israel-Palestine thing?
Yes, this Israel-Palestine. Well, even the person himself, he just dispels Palestine absolutely by writing, because he said when the British been occupied that place, he said there was no specific Palestine state safe. He said, and when they're ready for go there, he said they make 3 promises. Then tell because them defend the Ottoman, that's Turkey. Them defend them. Then say Arab, una back we would do yanda. So the Arab then back them. Well, whether the backing make them succeed or they fail.
Very interesting. We don't know when it will ever done. That
the issue of Palestine.
But most states in recent times don't agree say let's have a 2-state solution.
Wait, I will end this mind in your own situation. Then bell the Jewish then say, if we not support you because the Jewish then get money and they get technology. They say if we not support you, we can go back now on our homeland. So the Jewish support them financially and otherwise. Then they left the place so now. When they left the place so now, few people away they roam about sit down at the place, they catch fish and everything. Then they say now, well now we can't bring the Jewish state back to life. So the Arabs then say, where the promise will be promised we. So now make the Arabs they occupy that other corner.
Yeah.
And now that corner where they occupy, although it was stateless and Israel was a state, Iran we don't plan see, then 12th I know I reach that side. Then say somebody for can. If Israel destroys somebody for can for them. So they don't bend for
that's war and they were not think
so. Then big situation, they're all at the world stage. Definitely. If you go bring Yenga, now 2 things they go think of you as President Bio. They go say to this man, we would depend this
settle on ECOWAS level.
There's small thing. When I get Man River, when I get ECOWAS, when I get African Union, when I don't talk this, you can talk now. That kind of thing go boast out.
It's so inconsistent. Inconsistent of the government, because these are the government. If you look at the president's speech to Parliament at the opening of the 3rd session, he said the government they explore diplomatic and legal options.
What's he talking about?
So
diplomacy?
Hold on.
No,
for the first time,
this is the diplomacy at play.
Where can it be more palatable to share this issue than the United Nations platform? Why not?
Which solution they get? That's the question.
Well, so why you talk about going to the ICJ?
Maybe
no. Well, then you can.
Why
you get sideline? You get sideline.
The government deputy minister of foreign affairs, Peggy Algadi, once said.
Okay, let us say
even
something.
ICJ and the Onga speech. Maybe it's for the show.
These are institutions of the United Nations.
International Court of Justice. Am I protected?
Yeah, you are.
Am I protected? So now, no weapon this way. What if all this all they talk? Sometimes President Bio. I don't know if Guinea president go there, but Guinea must get some kind of representative either in the permanent rep or the ambassador or something. What if something then they talk at the corner there, don't President Bio say, "Boy, una self this thing una no left." I say, "But that thing we don't left alone." Say, "Wait, let the election." So they don't care. Say, "We go catch up."
Kevin, you downplay the occupation of Yanga.
No. I don't go downplay.
It's an occupation. It's an invasion.
Wait, no, it's not an invasion.
It's a test on our territorial and our sovereignty.
Whose
issue will be past that?
No. I think.
No, it's not too much.
I think Kevin has a point. Honestly,
we for land from Nigeria.
There's something called diplomacy.
Nigeria and
maybe
Cameroon.
maybe government they expect diplomatic.
Usai more diplomatic.
And they don't talk about
Usai get more diplomat than
the
United Nations.
That's when general said don't make
I'm
it
telling
clear.
you, certain
Say,
things
we are
that they
being
not-
diplomatic.
Some healing and the way they
no.
get. Some healing and the way they get, or some problem challenge the way they get.
The government
not go talk in a church.
inconsistent.
Exactly.
If you go talk in a church, something like that,
No,
the
but it's
problem will worsen.
inconsistent.
Okay, thank you very much,
It's
gentlemen. I think
inconsistency.
let's leave that. Let's leave that as it is. We get different shades of opinion on that matter there, and we all hope say the issue of Yenga will be solved. How diplomacy? Of course, it has to be diplomacy because we
just
don't-
has to be.
we cannot promote any means of violence. We
So
don't
we
get
cannot-
that.
so
We don't
we
get the
can- so are you
resources.
saying we cannot go to the
No, we
court?
don't have the resources.
So
We
go
don't
to
have the
court?
manpower. We don't have anything.
So go to court?
I say legally, yes. I'm saying we cannot promote any means of violence.
Oh no.
It's diplomacy, and
The
diplomacy, or
unfortunate
legal
side about the court,
legal
legal
sides.
diplomacy.
even
Yes.
if we go to
So
court,
definitely that's what we are coming to.
even if we go to court, they cut the case.
And the interesting thing about ECOWAS Court is also kind of being overwhelmed. You know, I get this issue I've been following. Sata Lamin has been there for maybe since 2018 election. She was gang raped here. Don't go to court. The case is lingering on. They call Salon Police. Salon Police say evidence not there. The statement where you say will not see her, and things as funny as and this case is going on and on and on. It's 7 or 8 years. This is the ECOWAS Court. Oh, no, I'm overboard and
Even about
with
all
other
that,
cases.
even there's a verdict from ECOWAS court which say Salon government for outlaw FGM. There's a
What's
verdict on
happening?
that.
Yeah.
But still,
There's also another
we not
verdict we
take-
talk about things around loitering where they can use
Yes, when they
police
say,
can use
yes, we say police
all
will
over the
change
place.
that one day.
But
If
have
police
we
don't
have
answer,
maybe
say they want
implemented
change
those
them.
laws?
Then don't answer say they want to change them. But what is the process?
How long
Would
it's going
invest-
to take,
would
we don't know.
invest into that process.
So, gentlemen, let's leave that as that. Definitely, we'll continue the conversations
we
as
go
things
still
go on.
knack this, oh.
No, yeah, no, this when I not mention this, so I'll take it as my own pick.
Okay.
Maybe we wrap up around this. So this is a story we cover. This basically it's like putting all the other stories together now. Judiciary in chaos. So we had like say we get these phases then now we have Justice Finn is there who is the judge who said because them take this other justice, his name is Justice Alan Hallowen, and I start the matter. Justice Alan Hallowen
Start
as
the
well.
chaos?
Yeah, no, not to chaos. They say let's start chaos.
That's not his judiciary in
chaos.
chaos.
Answer the ball, only.
Let's start the ball with the general idea is the judiciary in chaos. But Justice Hallowell here started by raising concerns, saying my human rights are being violated,
They are chaotic
my salary was seized, this they happen. And what happened, the Chief Justice and other Supreme Court judges had a panel, they sit down, they say, okay, let's suspend this man. So after the suspension, Justice Finn now put out a letter say, during this suspension process, first of all, me not see any tangible thing they say that this man do almost suspend him. Even if it's legal to suspend him, there are processes we for go through. Therefore, allow me for give me own opinion and dissent. Say no, me I not agree. Because they not agree, put out officially the Justice Finn wrote to the president. And that's what has been happening. Then we have another figure here, Justice Momoja Stevens. We all know the issues now, you know. Jamiru, a young lady, 21 years, they claim say B. She's a law student at FBC, who is a student of the Honorable Justice Momoja Stevens, and the allegations of harassment.
A student or a pupil?
No, students. Now FBC say they in our law department. So, you know, the allegations of maltreatment. She claims she has a child for the Honorable Justice. And, you know, there's been this back and forth, and there has been some acceptance. A lie low for some time. Then later I come up again, and I see a video of the police. They beg the justice actually come up with a case against her, and you know it's been a messy affair. There personally and all this, and that's why we have a headline: judicial in chaos. Me question to una gentlemen, what should be happening? This is an institution where we all for trust say if something happen to me, I've able to go to the judiciary and I have justice. Now we have the most senior Supreme Court judge. They talk say they evaluate me human rights. It's shocking. It's something that it's scary for where they go seek justice. We have had guests upon guests, lawyers, and other very prominent people in government sit down here and they ask them question. You know they go court. Some of them just laughed. They say, "You don't believe it?" I say, "I believe them." But when somebody laugh before you make them comment, you begin to wonder what's happening with the judiciary. What should be done? We really need for nip this on the board. And just yesterday, the judiciary had a service. Then go and I don't forget the theme.
So sorry.
And
And
this is the body where all these things that happen. They had this service, but you know, all they go to God. You know, like me Creole auntie say rotting body blind Jesus. You know, these things are they are very confusing, very scary for the average Sierra Leonean with the go within case. Me get small case now, the go to the post where they go to you know, judge in the look for justice. Melvin, let's start with you. I'm sure you've followed this extensively.
I have.
What should we do? We need a cleanup?
I am not surprised. If you look at the World Justice Project's report, Sierra Leone has been consistently stagnating or it's regressing. The performance of our rule of law sector is not up to the notch, and unfortunately, it seems as if, I mean, a government that promised to overhaul the judiciary, a government that once criticized the judiciary, is now presiding over a judiciary that is seemingly quoting the newspaper is becoming ever chaotic. On the issue of Justice Alan Alloway, it's not surprising again. There's a precedent with the removal of Lara Taylor Pierce. And some of these issues were then asked as to whether the tribunal should be set up before the suspension and all that. And now it's repeating itself. But one thing that speaks to is the lack of safeguards in the judiciary from political interference. Political interference in the sense that, of course, the Chief Justice is appointed by the President, meaning that whatever he does should be with the blessing or the backing of the President, quote and unquote, even if it's real or perceived. And if such things are happening, that based on the complaints Justice Alloway lodged against the Chief Justice, instead of those matters being addressed, it's the reverse, that Alan is now becoming double victim in the first case on his allegations on the disadvantaging of his terms of service, among other things, and now victim of conscience, or victim of speaking out. And it's good that we still have people who can stand for the truth. Mm-hmm. And that's where Reginald Finn comes in. I think I have great respect for him. Because this is a judiciary that is being seen as an Igbale, SO2. Ultimately, they see no evil, say no evil, hear no evil. You know? Yeah. And Reginald Finn is coming out to express himself. And I hope posterity is going to judge him right. Yeah. Because what he's saying that even his own opinion was not recorded. That is, people are not only meting out alleged injustices, but they are also trying to truncate evidence of their injustice for the future. Mm-hmm. How can you go into a panel and a land appeals court judge's opinion is omitted from the records? What is that saying? Is that not explaining that this is already a conspiracy against Alan? It is just obvious. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or a lawyer to understand that this is a system coming up against somebody. So now that is for Finn. And I think in this case, it's like a whole plot. It's like a whole drama. Chief Justice.
And interestingly, just for the record, Justice Finn, gets very high standard in terms of track record from ACC being prosecutor right on to all in Wokden. So it's not surprising to me that he could come up.
But there is a danger there.
There is a danger there. What's the danger?
It might be in the fate as that of Alan Alloway.
But it does not matter. At least somebody spoke up. And they will always want somebody come out.
Yeah,
and say,
but I mean, this is what I always say. I mean, what we want to talk to, Omawale talk to. Yeah. Many people want to talk to. But when it comes to the price of you facing the truth, Brianna, you want to start this.
No, but maybe this is the start of a revolution.
Well, let's wait and see. But the good thing here is, Reginald is coming to set the record straight that two things were set.
And nobody can take it away from him. That he's a very, very serious person.
Two things he made clear. Let me first flag and Liberty say, because Elkas was struggling, and I gave him the constitutional reference as to what could have been the reason, which is statement of misstatement. It's an ambiguous charge in the Constitution as to how a judge can be removed. Statement of misstatement. I don't ask senior lawyers then say, maybe that is so opaque. But it's an administrative term for punishment. But for what offense? Legal minds then still they struggle. And I think that same opinion Finn expressed so he said not see written at the misstatement. So one, not see the crime against Alloway. Two, waiting it talk
They not record that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a
That's
pattern
the most
of
troubling issue.
a pattern
it's not
of
about
injustice.
even Halloween case.
Yeah,
it's about just recording in dissent.
In your dissent.
The man
that's
say,
what
I
was
don't
done.
agree with this.
Then
so
now comes
which one
the man with the issue of love.
Well, I think I want to go there.
The man with the issue of love. The first thing that comes to mind is, I mean, of course, we all know say married. We all know say I'm Muslim. So the question here is, this
not only Muslim, you get some senior hierarchy. I
is
know
an allergy.
they get the way they call them.
So he's entitled to many wives. So why he not take this concubine or side chick or girlfriend as a wife? That's the first moral question. Because you know, call yourself allergy
So
or a lecturer or a man of high standing as such. Because if that's the question, then we will ask, we will call him professional misconduct. Because lecturer, not for little students say Igiambele. It's a professional misconduct if one for call things by the names. It is not the university code of conduct.
But yet the law would say what two consenting adults do in private.
It's not about, it's about morality now and standards. That's what we are opening in the first place.
Mostly we don't judge morality.
No. By legal standards.
The only thing we for be scrutinized here, I think, it's the way the relationship come out and what's happening to the lady in question, the allegations they make. Say, okay, I've been mistreated and things like that. I think saying
No. I mean, I want for camp waiting their record.
Affair should not
Let
be.
me land.
Okay.
Let me land. The affairs come into place. It come into play. Somebody will say, well, it's common. But for professional etiquette, it's unethical.
We have had people who don't married.
But this is not married at age. Now you begin to answer the question. You're not married at
It
age.
starts on
I
side
want to
for
say
married.
something.
And
it start.
look, when you listen to the just land, Mr. Kelvin, quickly. So now on the issue of now how they plot today. In this case, not only 21-year-old now complaining to.
Yeah.
Now the justice,
The
the seek
justice, go
justice.
seek justice.
It is seek justice over what he call an injustice from somebody where they in a powerless position. So for me, it's a legal facade. It's a facade because how you were there.
If you don't go before you come, because you don't come before latter the reality. The
Melvin, Kevin, yeah.
The reality way happen here is that this young lady, the cry say, a born for the man not to take care of him, picking, he abandoned them too. Later, we get a report from social media say, the man say, it give him 15,000 new leons every month as a way of taking care of the Pekin. He reach a point, now I say, the 15,000 small, let me make him 30,000. So now the man say, okay, according to the reports where they go out, say, in fact, I dey reduce ourselves to 6 until we do a DNA for confirm saying I'm a Pekin. So the Pekin angry. So now, this happened. This happened. The beginning cry say in at 21 years of age, in at 19, the beginning say in at 19, don't the judge say the beginning at 21. But even at that, when you
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
Above 89 are the most important.
yes,
thing.
when you go
If
behind,
you saying at 16, you just saying at 20.
it's saying at 19. So the process at which he get the belly, say born the Pekin to now, what age was she? One for put down the aside. But now the judge they complain say, he complain to police and they don't charge the case go court. Say this student when Edwina Awa Jamiu, we previously been accused and say he ambele and he abandon him. He complain and say he beats the judge. He do domestic violence. He beats the judge now. So when they say man and they complain when they beat there.
So man complain now.
So now man don't complain.
No, but Melvin
Man
mentioned
don't
that
complain. So this is serious.
palace.
Now the case gonna court.
Can I bring up-
Before you need to the powerless side. The
Can I
case
bring
gonna
up a
court
new
because
angle
judge
to all
they
of
show
this?
indulgence now. He's saying they follow the law.
Yeah.
In the case in a court, they read the charge.
Hey, not follow the law.
The lady no go.
Can I bring a new
And
angle to
now
all
they
of
say
this?
This is laughable
they
for
say they
a
don't
judge.
issue a bench
Melvin,
warrant
wait,
against
Melvin, can I bring
That is bullying.
No, Melvin, I'm coming. Can I use a new angle to all of this? You know, me and our members, we always think, say, women's groups come up only when the woman in question, powerful or influential, they don't speak up on. So
These are the
what
kind
I'm
of
thinking,
situation.
this a lady, we don't make these claims, right or wrong. What's happening with the women's group? They need talking that thing. They don't want to know whether or not true this lady talk. Even if not true, let's assume, there are things like, I would get a discussion with one woman and she was talking about, I think, postpartum trauma and things like that. And they possibly just born and they get this cycle they go through. What is happening psychologically? Take care of her and say, okay, these allegations, whilst we are looking at it, this a young lady where whatever you say has gone through the phase of being a mother and get your own traumas there.
And in a
And nobody is seeking her
And this
interest.
person now waiting to get this case now.
I totally agree with you.
Personality.
This lady need protection.
Maybe this is what we should be looking at.
It need protection because the personality where it come up against now a powerful force. I not feel say just common sense that lady day go think in a rightful mind say for bully or if for be violent against
You never know.
of course, let me learn.
Yeah.
This is psychology. All right, the judge is trying for use psychology. It is trying for use diversionary tactics.
It can be same for the lady.
I can
This Gen Z generation right now, they can go to extent.
I can agree, but again,
They say look for sympathy,
again,
you
let me
never-
just
no, yeah.
no.
Maybe in a case, it's a case.
No, this is a case inside
Don't
case,
assume.
but we not dey assume. Assuming at 19 or at 21, almost here the judge old.
Way older
can't
than
tell.
her.
No, we for no.
Way older
The
than
judge,
her.
the judge
inside-
age na
inside the
public,
story.
now it is in the public domain.
We're not inside the story.
For the fact that that big man first was other picking it first of all, that now one edge was where the man gets. Then two, you look about in masculinity. When you watch the judge first of all, you see and say physical. That is another way. All three for this judge get past this speaking. There is no way
These are
common
mostly
sense.
assumptions.
Okay.
There is no way
So
common
let's-
sense go tell you
let's-
say
let's wrap
this
this up.
speaking go bully this
me
judge.
wrap.
That's
This
wrap.
judge
So-
one for Fenway
it's in
for
court.
let public not get
It's in-
backlash. Now he make it don't go take this action.
It's in
And we
court.
call on human
My
rights
question is-
groups,
Exactly, that's what I want to.
women's groups, the
What should be done?
media, and civil society. Follow we stand. Let me make this clear. I'm not saying the lady is right.
Okay.
I'm saying the
Definitely,
approach
let's make that
already
very clear.
be. If you know so you picking, why you not be done say and go do DNA before you begin send 15,000? But you not judge. But this not you don't need for big rocket scientists. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
So what should be done right now? What thing they need for do for protect the lady?
Let them,
question
the lady first, definitely first of all, you're not in a disadvantageous position. One as students in the same law department. You know, most other lecturer then we go naturally not get sympathy for her again. You know that people they're not exposed and forced to so many
but the lady-
trauma and vulnerabilities. Not to the lady go court.
No, wait. Apart from the course, lady now take to social. Most of the thing, I first take to social media and now exposing.
Yeah, I
identity.
think
No.
The day
She
when they
took
carry
to
her go to
social
police
media
station.
after.
They can't have a police station.
No, that was before the police station.
No. Show me. Look at the timestamps.
No, this case has been on for a very long time.
Yeah,
This way go
2024.
na police station. These are the last results.
Yeah.
Where the judge decide for go court. But it's been on. It don't have social media. It don't make claims. It don't, I think the
Not
judge
with the
was pushed to the corner.
not with
like,
the prominence where he gets to now.
Yeah,
I agree with you now. Oh, matter.
I think they are from December 2024.
Yeah.
The lady made a viral video.
Not the case passé. It begin make chumu from last December as we be say.
Yes,
Now
2024.
when it don't reach to this level, in fact there are other
Now, 1 year ago, so
backstories.
the-
There are other backstories as to this case in BRE.
Anyways,
So
more wrap up with that and
so-
focus
so-
on.
so the person-
Let's look at
personality.
what do we think should be done. This is a case.
what do you mean
because
they think
this
should be done?
case should be
Wait,
taken
wait,
out
wait.
of court.
My issue right
Firstly.
now with the case, not to the whole drama and personal, is that it paints a very negative picture of the judiciary. I make all the headlines say judiciary in chaos. You have a senior judge like this, get parties, Why don't you take it out and
Exactly.
The trauma, it don't dey now.
What should be
on,
done?
On the lady,
Let's see
there is
for
trauma.
ADR
On the
or out of court
on
settlement.
the pikin when them born.
That's how celebrity do it.
You
They do
understand?
am.
The pikin self now,
Yeah.
na innocent child.
Yeah.
Where they can go into this kind unfavorable
Say
publicity.
to man, we call her names.
Yes, publicity. Don't the pikin, the lady in your family also. In name don't come
That
na
is
the
grace.
limelight
Yeah.
for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Then of course the learned judge. And in religious background, in professional standing, in moral values, all don't come out to the limelight in a way we not really fine for people.
So thank you very much, gentlemen. You know, we
Under
can't wrap up.
Sharia,
I can't ask you for wrap
there's a
up.
different legal reference.
I'm going to ask you to wrap up, but I think this is a very interesting conversation we will get. And me, and personally, me thinks I can call on all the women who can advocate. You know, small TRP, you're all over the place. I remember when this alleged rape happened. I am Khadija. Autopsy results come on. It was different from waiting that they talk, and nobody even pushed for that. Other cases and they are around sexual harassment, rape cases. They don't talk about it. They look now based on the personality.
The SLBC until you get for going to ECOWAS.
ECOWAS because there and all that. We need to be consistent. We advocate for women and girls. Let's advocate for every woman and girl, no matter the situation. Like right now, the lady in question needs some talking to. Nobody is saying it right or wrong. You know. It might be some theatrics and all that. But let's look at it. And for the fact I don't get Pekin and she needs to be consoled. It gets some traumas to go through. And these are the things we encourage people to do. We don't just look at one side. And we don't just advocate for women based on the women who are powerful or based on side that we know. So it's not project related something, interest and all that. So thank you very much. And I trust we don't do justice to this matter. We definitely follow up on the matter in court and see how it goes. I'm sure it will be resolved going forward. And we pray that we judicially, like when they're going to church yesterday.
And they made the judicial prayer.
They made a judicial prayer.
May
God guide we.
But it's better that we have it now.
Yeah.
And then today Monday, imagine them go court yesterday. Today Monday, this came up. You understand? I could not name all of them.
You cannot name all of them. So thank you very much. So Melvin, we wrap up, Melvin. I may just give a wrap up. This week, it's going to be an interesting week. A lot of stories for piggyback on things that we go for follow up. What are you expecting to be following in the media this week? If you say the top stories would be around.
I think the government will be making a lot of mouthiness around the money we go come on as commitment, of course. Of course, the Samsumana matter still will therefore remain because of its consequential nature. And above all, the budget process, I think it's ongoing, and what ministries will be requesting versus their justification for that. All of that will be on the news agenda basically. But of course, the judiciary is not going to go away. These issues are going to be lingering, and yes, the media will always be there to cover the story.
Yeah, definitely, we'll do that too.
Whether from the right perspective, the left perspective, or the center perspective.
Thank you very much, Melvin. Lamdo.
On a lighter note, waiting I think say will be part of the social media news. Now the fact that senior citizen been present na Jagaban in program. And he make one salient point.
Who are them senior citizen?
Senior citizen day, Joseph Abbas Sano, senior citizen. He make an assertion. We will go a long way for defining politics. Other name will be sure. We say get other name. Which one are they? Yes. I need to go to that. I don't answer. I don't want to use another Jagaban. He say, Ingladi the way Jagaban they move in terms of women development, youth, children, and in philanthropy. He say, members say, I'm quoting him now, and I think that makes a lot of interesting. Listening. He say, members say, me for now, me na SLPP. He say, but supporter no get transfer. He say, wait, me neighbor. He say, me neighbor not tidy. So I expect say, a lot of things then going to go unfold because you know. Somebody take him. One good possible word sabi take him now and make him a big topic na Facebook. Say, senior citizens say. Supporter not get transfer, so it depends on the team we available, we get the funds.
So I go left you, Melvin, and others to do that. Me personally, we can for things like senior citizen. I have more important things. I really spend my time.
Oh yes.
In all honesty.
But these are the things that when they affect you, important things. Where at the end of the day, we just get.
I get more important things to follow.
I think. Why I'm not surprised with senior citizen? If you don't get one audio where you talk about how like the power, how the panel they perform.
And you know one let the panel like cancer.
You know one let the panel like the mammy no money do. So the takeaway there is how people use national issues for their personal aggrandizement. The bottom line there is Sanodi Goni Jagaban now because you know Jagaban is stone. And so Jagaban, be very, very careful.
I don't understand you, Jagaban is
Jagaban the pump, it injects. Jagaban, anyway you see, like a man, na blade.
Where you pass around.
When you pass by you in the court.
The court.
When you pass by the court. So
Sanogo get your own court.
Get your own court. But the fact that remains, I think I should talk to Jagaban generally. It's my opinion. If I was rich like Jagaban, I need a venture for going to politics or party politics.
No, why? If
Why?
the man decide for
Because have you
spend
ever
money
seen
across the
have you
place.
ever seen Bill Gates or Dangote
No, that's Bill
coming
Gates.
forward to there's a dangerous precedent.
What if the money the man gets, they put and it's for now based on what
still do development
I'm coming
jobs.
based on what I'm seeing now. Of course, me I hold no brief for him. Of course, and however, Mr. Sabia, so I can't be a spokesman for him. I just make it clear, let me not be misunderstood.
Don't pack for you.
Exactly, but I see he's doing some things very developmentally oriented. Example, like go book free, start put lights now. If Danny no money you want to do, no problem with Danny. Rather choose or put him
So
money.
now when
We have had-
you want beef,
we have had
you can do that.
But don't get politicians the way one be flag bearer,
Why
one be
you not
president,
do
they not do one.
Why you not
I'm
doing
just
in
saying.
little corner?
Yeah.
It puts his business into risk. I think you not learn from Gento.
Well, good luck
Gento are
to
the
you.
most recent unfortunate precedent as to why if you are wealthy, you must not
thank you
venture
very
into
much,
party
gentlemen. That will be a conversation for another day. I don't want to go to the gentle issue. We'll definitely find time for the end day when it comes up in the news. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. It's been very interesting and engaging conversation. But I think this is all we have time for. This is how we wrap up the program. Stop Press. My name has been Christian Conte. I've had two guests. I've had Kevin Lamin Lamdo, and of course I get the ever ready and controversial Melvin Tijan Mansare. It's been interesting having you, and we definitely will continue these conversations. And we'll keep an eye on all the stories that we don't mention, and we'll bring them come to you as it happens. And that's what we do here on Stop Press. Bring you the discussions unfiltered, unadulterated. We bring and come to you how it day. We know they control the conversation and say, no, this is not for kind to do. As long as it's legal, as long as it's not out of the way, we encourage those conversations. And we believe that then conversations are the build with democracy. These disagreements, we all cannot be on the same page. You might disagree with me, I disagree with you, but the ability for me to sit on our media, we discuss her, we talk her, without fearing any consequences, that's what builds our democracy. Until definitely, now it's true, they always last. Until we meet again on Wednesday for another edition of the show, stay blessed, continue to listen to we, and as my boss can always say, that it's true, they last. This is Stop Press.
Because it's true. They're trying their best to stop our progress with bad propaganda. I mean the foreign press. Bad things are blown out of proportion and spread all around. But the good things of the island they will never mention. Like our scholars have sit and passed every test. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. You know our